these billboards all over town are so nuts. Have you seen these, Joey? That God is coming May 21st. You motherfucker.
Why May 21st? I can't figure out why May 21st.
Who knows? The idea behind it is so ridiculous. The idea behind it, first of all, that you could predict the fucking day, you know? Come on. And then the day is in what? Is it in the Bible? Is that where you're getting this day from? I've never heard that before. And not only that, even if it was in the Bible is just a translation of ancient Hebrew, which nobody really totally understands. Ancient Hebrew, to this day, they don't know all the words. And the letters double as numbers. You know, like there's no numbers in Hebrew, so the letter A is also the number 1. So when you translate that shit to Latin and you translate it to Greek and then to English, who knows what the fuck it really said in the first part? You're not going to get May 21st out of it, dude. You know, and even if it did, you really think they were right? I mean, you really believe it all?
Is
it
a religious thing at all, or is it like he just saw a vision?
I don't know. He's just going to be a crackpot, but this motherfucker's buying billboards everywhere. You know, he's buying billboards everywhere.
He's got financing.
Yeah.
How does he get this money?
There's a lot of money in retards. Retards are everywhere, and they want to believe. I mean, look. We're friends with Alex, all right? Alex Jones is a nice guy. I like Alex a lot. But there's a lot of people that follow Alex that might as well be following this guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they just picked something to get obsessed with. Whether it's the Mayan calendar in 2012 or it's fucking the Jesus apocalypse or whether it's UFOs, it's all the same mentality to get these motherfuckers obsessed with these things.
But what got you off the Mayan calendar?
Well, I was never on it. I'm not attached or married. I try not to be, at least, to almost everything that I think, everything that I believe about everything. I'm open to reinterpretation at all times. And the thing about the Mayan calendar is, I think what the Mayans did, and I got this mostly from going to Chichen Itza and talking to this guy who was a professor, who was our guide, who was really an interesting guy. And we talked to this guy for hours. He gave us a tour for like 5 hours, and he was like, he loved. Yeah, and he loved the fact that I knew so much about the Mayan civilization. So he was an individual guide, like you hire him, you know, for the tour. So he was like really into it because the guy loved the culture, man. He was really obsessed with it and obsessed with the fact that there's this incredible society that basically just vanished. I mean, these guys created some incredible works of architecture, these incredible designs, incredibly intricate calendars, and really these psychedelic languages of images and shit like that. I mean, the way they form sentences and stuff. It was very fascinating stuff. And then on top of that, there was all this evidence of a massive deterioration of their society, like it's human sacrifice and, you know, and that kind of shit. Like what caused all this, man? It's all a fucking fascinating thing. But I never believed that they had it wired, that they knew that December 21st, 2012, the end of the cycle. They don't even think that it's the end of the world. Nowhere in the Mayan calendars that say the world ends December 21st. What it is the end of the long count. And it's just another sequence of events. It's like it ushers in a new cycle. What that means, who knows? It could be a new consciousness. It could be an astrological or an astronomical cycle where, you know, something in the cosmos aligns in a different way. I mean, we know when the moon is closer to us or the moon is further away, it reacts, it changes the tides, it does things. You know, if there's some other astronomical body that or a cosmic body that when it lines up with us, its gravity affects us in a certain way, and it changes some certain things about people or ushers in some new understanding or new appreciation or some new sort of a natural disaster that makes us sort of rethink the way we communicate, whether it's with cell towers or whether it's with satellites. You know, the satellites get burnt out, so we have to figure out a way to reinvent the whole idea of mass communication. I mean, that's all possible. That could be the reasons why these things, what's thought of that a new age is coming, you know, and that the Mayans predicted it because they predicted there would be a new atmosphere on Earth. That would be, maybe it's, you know, as simple as the polar ice cap shift and it causes all sorts of fucking havoc and chaos. It could be solar storms. It could easily be that, man. There's a lot of predicted solar storms activity in 2012. You know, they think they could get unprecedented levels of gamma bursts. And they've had those before, solar storms like way in the past where, you know, we didn't have like all these satellites and shit. You know, there was, I believe it was I think it was the 1950s, I think it was, where there was a giant solar storm, like the highest ones ever measured. And they were saying that if that solar storm happened to us today, I mean, literally it would knock out communication. We would be fucked. We would probably still have the internet in a lot of areas, but like a lot of our power grid would be fucked. A lot of our satellites would be fucked. You know, solar storms are really unpredictable. And when they happen, man, really big ones could toast this whole society. And maybe that's what happens in 2012, and maybe nothing happens.